Hello Internet, welcome back to our ToME Writhing One series. In the last episode we cleared out another low-level dungeon, checked out the, Elvish starting area, and then we had a randomized encounter. I think we're ready to be heading into the next tier of dungeons. I was holding off, trying to scrape out a few extra levels, but I think we're ready. Yeah, I didn't really look at this stuff so much. No, I don't want you. Summon Tentacle. Summon a resilient tentacle up to 5 spaces away for 3 turns. Each turn, tentacle will strike a random enemy in range 3, dealing... I mean, that actually seems pretty good. I don't know if it's base damage 107, 200 life. That seems actually pretty good. When used, it heals for 43 as well. I don't know if I would want to give up... Let's move it to our normal inventory so we can get out of here and look at our abilities. I don't know if I would want to give up the regen or the heal. What is that? Why does that town look different? It didn't look like that before with like a castle in the background. Did it? We're going to have to take a peek at that in a moment. Yeah, I don't want to give up our heal because it's an instant heal that doesn't cost any moves and heals a significant amount. I don't want to give up regen because it's like our passive heal for when it's not a real priority that we need a single turn to do it, and we can spread it out over multiple turns. And then plus we can combine our shield with our regen, so like we pop our shield, pop our regen, even if we take a hit, it'll start restoring our health as we tick down on the shield. And then this one, the Wild Infusion, is the one that I'm using by far the least, but it has the possibility of healing a physical effect, which can free us from freezing or pinning or whatnot, which seems pretty valuable, and I'm hesitant to give that up. Especially because I've been treating these as defensive abilities, whereas this is an offensive ability. Oh, my dogger does not want to be here anymore. Go on, buddy. Yeah, there's like a crazy storm going on outside. It's extremely windy outside, like crazy windy. You might hear my door creaking and things. It's just because this does not have a latch on it, and so breeze from the rest of the house causes the door to slightly open and close, which creaks the hinges. So please ignore that. Let's look at this town. It sure looks different from the last time I saw it. Maybe it's because I turned up my graphics. Oh, that's right. This is the place with the extremely loud music. I actually do not want to be here. Let's just head out to the dungeon. We're not going to be shopping or anything. Or we could... Are you hostile? You are hostile. We could go see about the lumberjacks, but I don't think that that's something I want to do right this second. So I think we will head up to... I guess the maze, right? It is Halloween as I am recording this. I'd imagine that if there was a hostile... Like we saw in the other episode, that the maze was actually like corrupted with tentacle monsters. So I don't know if that's maybe connected to Halloween or if that is really just random. It just says the maze 1. So I imagine it's just the maze. So, right away we met a named creature. We're gonna... Oh, I don't have insanity to pop my shield. Looms a pair of eyes. You're an assassin. I think they teleport behind you. So... Why don't we'll use this ability to generate some insanity, and also to see, because if he teleports over here, I don't want to be wasting turns trying to close gap with him if he's just going to move over to me anyway. Okay, he casts something, so now we have insanity. We can pop our shield. The constrict ability, I should have made a priority of testing this out and seeing how it goes. Let's use our let's not use our whirlwind. Let's wait. There we go. Now we'll use our whirlwind so that it hits both with our main weapon and tentacle, because if he was over here, we would only hit with tentacle. So that did a lot of damage to him, and he's going to go down. Let's constrict him anyway. Constriction. Virulent strikes. I want to see the constriction effect. Where am I? Tentacle constriction hits the assassin for 63 damage. That's pretty significant damage. And of course we can hit him while that's happening. We should really make a priority of using that on the next boss or named creature that we see, so that we can see over time how big of an effect that actually has. We're going to give this to our... Oh, we got a Flash Slicer. Thought it said Face Slicer, and I was like, that's awesome. Transport to the worm, and we will equip him with that because he still has a gray item in his other hand. So let's compare. This deals 15 to 21 with a +5 cold damage. This deals 12 to 16 with a +5 temporal damage. We want this on his main hand because it's higher damage. I think you want the higher damage weapon in your main hand in general in games like this, because I think usually your main hand hits harder and more frequently, and like, but then when you want the higher one on your offhand so that you know, because then I think this is correct. Let's rest, and also let's not be a worm. Let's swap back to our character. Yeah, it's Halloween, and they've canceled Halloween in my town because of, or rather they changed the date of it because of the we really expected a lot of rain and very strong winds. We should be popping our shield, I keep forgetting. And yeah, they postponed it. I think it's tomorrow night now, which it means nothing to me. I don't participate in Halloween. I don't really interact with kids, you know. They're like, my opinion of kids is not very high, and so like, yes, I have a niece that I talk about sometimes, but like, it's different when they're family, and even then they can annoy the bejesus out of you. Let's not pop that chest because I'm not really sure what level we would want to be before we would open that chest. If I were smart, I would mark down locations of chests, but I actually don't think it's so significant that we need to do that. No, we have a very good cloak. We don't want to swap our cloak. We're looking for gauntlets, although these increase our damage output. Actually, these gauntlets are great. 12 accuracy, 6 temporal on melee, 3 dex, temporal resistance, and an increase to temporal damage. Boots we could do with. We could definitely do with some new boots. I'm not sure where we're at with rings, but boots for sure. And yeah, maybe a weapon, maybe a helmet. The only reason I'm keeping this helmet is because of the fire and cold resistance. We already looked at that ring. We don't want that ring. In fact, we can get rid of some of this stuff. We're not going to use the tentacle thing. Yes. We're not going to use this cloak. Yes. We're not going to use this ring. Yes. Okay. Now go back to everything. So we're looking for boots. What do you got? 3 armor, stamina, spell power. No. It's not going to do it. Armor, defense, fire resistance, life. Max life. 6 armor, 2 defense, max life. I feel like I've been undervaluing resistances on my last couple of characters. So I think I'm going to prioritize resistance a little more highly in this playthrough. However, it's only 20 life. I think we'll just keep the fire resistance. Might be a mistake, but whatever. And yeah, none of that is stuff we want. Yeah, I don't participate in trick or treat. I haven't in many, many years. You know, when I was a kid, we would go to like my great grandmother's and go around her town. She passed away many years ago at this point. But like my dad's family lived in that town. I think our worm boy died, which is weird because, oh, you, what? Why do you keep reappearing? He keeps reappearing even when I don't summon him. I don't mind it. It's kind of nice even, but like, I don't get it. Okay, so here we see a Drem. So maybe this is the technically maze, because I don't think we saw halfling feet. Oh, I don't understand. Halfling feet. Some men have said that the feet of halflings can they be harmed, not by fire, blade, nor magic, and they do say that this is a truly astounding thing. Some men consider the foot of a halfling to be an item of great luck and protection, and many have one hung above their door or mantle. That's disgusting. Though these days 'tis frowned upon to go hunt for one, so 'tis considered a prized heirloom to be passed from father to son. What about mother to daughter? Why is it always gotta be sexist? But women do look upon men and declare them fools. For how, say they, can the foot of a halfling be a lucky thing, when with their large uncomely feet they are not able to wear shoes and footwear of elegant crafts and beauteous? I actually don't know how to say that, now that I'm thinking about it. Materials. And especially 'tis a great misfortune unto them, as with their short stature they could really do with a decent pair of heels. Okay. And lo, 'tis little mystery why halflings do look upon humans and say the big folk really are very dumb. Yeah, my argument would be, how lucky could they be if they let someone saw them off and hang them above their mantle? It's just my opinion. So did we find a halfling foot? Is that why we got that lore? No, I don't know why we got that lore piece. Diary of the Maze, blah blah blah. We've already read this. Worm is dead again. I don't really understand. Let's look at our worm. Minus 1% health WTW. I don't know what that means. So, oh, worm that walks. So let's just wait a few. Okay, I was gonna say, does he just reappear? So now if we hover him, 100% life. It's interesting that he automatically respawns. I like it. I'm wondering if it only occurs when we're out of combat or when our insanity hits a certain level or something like that. Not sure how that works. He seems to have very low hit points, however. Maybe he's... Are you using the self-destruct ability? Give order. Set note. Tactical talents. Yeah, do not use self-destruct. What are you doing? Is that maybe what's happening? Let's self-destruct him just to see the animation. Maybe that's what we've been seeing. Can't do this? Your summoner must be dead. Oh, okay. So he's not self-destructing. So he's just wimpy, I guess. 300 hit points. You shouldn't be that wimpy. You also have regen. Okay. Let's just continue forward. Oh, we're taking poison damage. Pop our shield, I guess. And, like, we were very poor growing up, so we didn't really have costumes. Like, I remember going to my great-grandmother's town, and, like, you know, she would take us to church in that town as well. And, like, I mean, this is a long time ago. I was, like, 7 or 8. Hello, named. So what we want to do, we're going to pop our shield. We're going to immediately constrict the enemy, which is... Nope. Constrict. Tentacle, try to pull it close. So it can't retreat. Is it constricted? I actually did not see the message. Constricted by a tentacle. Hits it for 0 damage. So it's blocking currently. Which is... Oh, it's in Wraith form. So we're going to hold off on our cooldowns. Why don't we pop our regen? Since our shield is up and we couldn't do anything really anyway because he was in Wraith form. Looks like our Wraith is dead, or our Worm Boy is dead. From Tidus killed the Shadow. What? Demonic Soul. Tentacle Constriction hits Shadow? Oh, it hits all enemies. Okay, let's look at this thing again. Please. Please. Constrict. Okay, constrict safe target. Constricting, you cannot use your tentacle. Enemies can resist. It can try to move away. It says nothing about lashing out at nearby targets unless I use these abilities. Tentacle damage, and if adjacent, you make a weapon. Okay. This one is centered around our constricted target. So, since it's constricted, these should do significantly more damage. So let's hit him with the Tendril Eruption. Okay, it's so hard to read that log at the bottom. Hits for 142 total damage. Is pretty good. Constriction also hit for 31 damage, which is not very good at all. I think the first time we used it, we were hitting for 60. It's probably their resistance is 70% darkness resistance. Yeah, it's a problem. Our tentacles do dark damage, so yeah, we're going to be dealing reduced damage. Constrict target has disappeared. So, presumably it teleported. And we're taking damage by being in this shadow. Let's wait a few turns. Let's look for it. Oh, Worm That Walks hits something. Nope, that's not the guy we're looking for. Okay, we'll just... I wish I knew where it went. I guess this is one of those instances... Nope, don't do that. Instances where telepathy would be good. There's a Zorn. Did we kill a Zorn? Is that what that was? Man, I hate having to... Oh, Umber Hulk. I hate having to constantly pull up the log. I know it's probably boring to watch. Yeah, we didn't really have costumes growing up. I remember going as like a girl when I was a kid, like 13. My uncle and I dressed as girls for Halloween, like, which by today's standards is probably offensive somehow to someone. But it was just fun, to play, at a character that you're not. I was a kid. It wasn't anything malicious or anything. And like, I remember there was basically 1 year in my entire life where I had a good costume. My uncle had this really scary werewolf mask that I have no idea where he picked it up, but it was just at the house. And like, I remember too, he had this weird painting of like a werewolf, and it was very, very scary to me when I was a child. And I think that's why I have like serious love of werewolves, is that like they freaked me out when I was a kid, and so I started learning about them, and they turned out to be really cool and whatever. But anyway, my uncle had this mask, and it was at the time I was in the city. We were living in the city, so like I was in like second grade, which I have no idea how old you are in second grade. I want to say like 7. And they were doing this like school parade thing, and you were supposed to bring your costume to school. I have no idea where this freaking enemy went. It just vanished. I don't know if it's dead and I just didn't realize that it died. But we've been pretty much everywhere and we haven't seen it. I'm also feeling a little ballsy, so I kind of want to open this chest. Yes. Okay. Maybe this was a mistake. Level 15 rare. I mean, you don't look that scary. Pop our shield. Oh, now we can't constrict because we used all of our insanity. We'll use our lick. Sorry, my throat all of a sudden is giving me some grief. Now we will constrict, because we didn't want to use these abilities if we're not constricting, because they're amplified by our constrict. Go ahead and hit him with this. Oh, we failed to constrict. Activates constrict. Deactivates constrict. Is free from the 10. Okay, good for you. You got out. I'm now going to murder you, because I'm frustrated. Oh, you stunned me? Stunning reduces our damage by 50%, which is terrible, so we're going to pop this to cure ourselves. We failed to cure ourselves. No, we just still have the visual effect. It will go away. No, do we... Pain suppression? Why are they still on cooldown if I cured myself? Because this is an instant ability, and it doesn't matter if I have the effect. Currently, it already reduced their cooldowns. Okay, so we'll wait, or increase their cooldowns, rather. We will lash out. Great, nice and easy. Storm Mark. Some arrows there. Just auto explore. Hopefully we'll find this thing. No? And so my uncle gave me this werewolf mask, and my grandmother stitched like a pair of jeans. She took fur and put like patches in the knees where like she ripped the jeans so you could see through to my legs, but then inside she put fur so it looked like there was fur bursting out of my clothing. And I mean, I'm sure I looked goofy and it wasn't very good of a costume, but for me as a kid who never had a costume, that was like the sickest thing anyone ever did for me. When I like, it was so cool. And I remember going, and they were like, and you when you're a kid and people say stuff to you that they don't really mean. Like I remember them being like, "Oh, you look so scary. I don't know if they'll even let you in the parade because you might be too scary." And like, I just remember that made me feel really good when I was a kid. I don't know. I didn't have a lot of great Halloween experiences. What does this pickaxe give us? 1 strength, 2 in for vision. Yeah, nah, I'm good. Cone that knocks back. I also really don't want this very much. I actually forgot we had one. These might be better than what our guy currently has, but I doubt it because they're great swords, and then the other is a dagger. Gale Snake. Okay. 6 armor, 2 defense. On melee hit, 10% chance to reduce damage dealt by 7%. That's pretty... I mean, it's not insignificant. Pretty good resistances. Increases dark damage very slightly, which is not enough. That's going to be... On our current weapon attacks, it's going to... Or not weapon. On our current tentacle attacks, that's going to be 1 or 2 points worth of damage. Because I think we're dealing less than 100 right now. But it's not insignificant, and... This is better than what we have. Like currently we have 13% fire resist. This gives us blight, dark, and lightning, as well as giving us a chance on melee hit to reduce the enemy's damage output, which is pretty significant. So we will grab that. Maybe we'll throw... We should put... Oh, he can't wear heavy armor currently. Male, armor heavy. Wait a minute. No, he can wear mail because mail is not plate, right? Let's hold on to this. Transfer to party. Yes. Everything else. Boots of tirelessness. Stamina, no. Everything else can go. Movement and fury, yeah. Everything else can go. And then we will wait until we get a quiet moment to put that equipment on him. We're not going... He's dead. Pop my shield. We'll hit with our whirlwind to kill them. Oh, we revealed another one. Oh, that's me. Did we swap positions? Okay, just hit him. Let's pop our regen as well while we still had our shield active. Okay, getting a little concerning now. Let's Alt 4 to hit both of them. We'll pop our instant heal just for the sake of safety. And then we will wait and let our worm come back. I'm guessing he can't come back while in combat, but I really don't have evidence to support that. And let's throw on this armor for him. Get rid of the robe of the worm, which does what? Must level worm that walks talent on the master to take it off. Of course it's locked behind skill. I mean, okay. A little irritating. Oh my god. So worm that walks level 2, resurrect the friendly, higher raw. Oh, so he can get belt, ring, and trinket slots as well. I did not realize that. So we definitely should... Rings could give him significant boosts. Definitely want to work towards rings. What else do we get from this? Teleport to an enemy in range 10 and make a melee attack. Okay. Power. I mean, that would be good for closing gaps initially with combat. Worm that walks. As long as you remain within range 3, you both gain significant resistance to all damage, which is huge. For 5 turns, and it cools down. It says passive, so it says for 5 turns. I don't know if that would be refreshed every time that we're within range of 3, or if it just means if we move out of range of 3, it slowly starts ticking down 5 turns. Like, I don't know how that works. Worm permanently gets an inscription slot, so we could give him like a shield or something. Shattered Insanity. Yeah, we're not going to look at all this right now, but yeah. And we have the Blood of Life. We have 4 lives. We're doing great on this character. I think, honestly, taking things slow made a real difference this time around. Because previously I would just follow the quests and go wherever it kind of suggested. And it's clear to me now that that was not really in my best interest. Which is, you know, something that, you know, I often complain about ToME, but like, that's something that should be a real priority to you, is that quests make sense and are good at giving new players direction, because they're going to lean on things like that. Why don't we constrict him? Just because, I mean, really, we shouldn't be using constrict on the real basic enemies anyway, because they're just gonna die. Also, we really need to be working our AoE damage a lot harder than we are. Why don't we come up to this little cubby? We'll rest. We'll come down here. Okay. Yeah, anytime we see more than one enemy, we should really be working our AoE damage. It's, you know, this class seems to have a lot of it, so it's something we really should be prioritizing. Yeah, it's a good costume. You know, it's one of those things. It's like when you're a kid, especially I think when you're a poor kid. Like I remember going, like I said, to my grandmother's house, and we kind of went to church there, and there was this kid, Chad. And like this was right around the time that the Star Wars movies started coming out again. Back in, I guess, in the 90s at this, you know, geez, it was a long time ago. So let's hit with our tentacle. I'm a little worried about that named gelatinous cube, especially because our guy's about to die. Looks like it hit for fire, a fire aura. I don't know. I never know if it's prudent to step out of that or if I should just let it happen. Okay, this is concerning. Space-time tuning. Oh, so this is not indicative of him being some scary creature. This is just an aura of some sort. So this is the named. This is the one to worry about. It is weak to cold and weak to light. Unfortunately, we don't deal either of those damages. And this should not be a concern. He has a lot of health, though. Let's constrict the tentacle. Or the tentacle. Let's constrict the cube. Hit it with our whirlwind. Oh, man, I'm so worried because he did not take any damage. Blocking for 2 turns. Okay, well, we will take this opportunity to pop our regen. And we'll also pop this. No, we'll wait until next turn to pop this so we can get the maximum usage out of it. So we'll lick him. Now we will pop this to reduce all damage incoming and outgoing. He's no longer blocking, so we can start hitting him again. Explode our face, I guess, and we'll hit both with that. Oh, he's just dead. Oh, okay. I did not realize he was so low on health. I thought that was going to be like a really long, drawn-out fight. Okay. I think we should call the episode here. Yeah, I think this was an okay episode. And again, we're doing great. We haven't died once yet. So, for now, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, maybe consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. All those things help put my videos out there, and I really don't get a lot of views and stuff, so that would help me out immensely. But that's going to do it. I'll be back with more ToME in the near future, and I'll see you in the next episode.